Hey, breaking news, everybody. The Democratic Party doesn't give a shit about you. Hey, you know, that even made their top 10 list of potential slogans. The Democratic Party doesn't give a shit about you. The Democratic National Committee had a meeting recently to put together their party platform. And on the issue after issue, supported by the majority of Democratic voters, the Democratic Party is telling you to go pound sand. By the way, Joe Biden believes sand is a gateway drug. And Kamala Harris said if you pound sand, she'll arrest you because Kamala Harris is a cop. Speaking of which, take legalizing marijuana. The DNC platform committee voted 106 to 50 against an amendment calling on the party to support marijuana legalization. Polls show that 78% of Democrats and independents support legalization. That's 4/5 of voters. 4/5 of voters want you to be able to get an eighth. You can't get 4/5 of Democrats to agree on anything, except that they love the West Wing, hate Donald Trump, and want Medicare for all. Which, by the way, the DNC is also voting against giving you. Medicare for all, that is, not the West Wing. They have all the box sets. Joe Biden said he does not support legalization until there's a scientific proof that it's not harmful. Let Professor Super Science Jimmy Dore tell you, Joe, we don't need to run any more experiments. Hey, Joe, tens of millions of Americans experiment with marijuana every day. The science is in. Specifically, the science is in the lungs of millions of Americans who admit they smoke pot. Trust me, I've been running this experiment every day for the past 15 years. There's even research that show pot helps with dementia, Joe. Joe Biden could become a case study. You know who else has admitted to smoking pot, by the way? Both the most recent Democratic presidents, or as I like to call them, the duo of disappointment. Not to mention Joe Biden's former 2020 Democratic presidential primary rivals. Bernie Sanders, who got so high he thought the DNC wouldn't rig a primary against him. Amy Klobuchar, who got so high she told a room full of Latinas that her Spanish name is Elena. And Pete Buttigieg. That's right. Even that narc Pete Buttigieg smoked pot. Though Pete Buttigieg accidentally bought a bong made out of a jade lamp while antiquing in Connecticut with Chasen. Kamala Harris, who on The Breakfast Club said she got so high, she time traveled and listened to records that hadn't even been recorded yet. And now Kamala Harris is Joe Biden's vice presidential pick. She's a very arresting choice. So does the DNC think all these prominent Democrats should be arrested? Of course not. Because for people with money and connections, smoking pot has always been effectively legal, right? It's only a crime for poor people and minorities, so we can throw them in jail. We can't make pot legal because cops won't be able to use the I smell marijuana excuse for arresting and roughing up black and brown people. Catch a kid with a dime bag, or maybe a cop just planted on a kid, and then arrest him. Now he's got a record, and the criminal justice system churns onward. The churn Joe Biden cranked out with the crime bill. The crime bill he's still so proud of. You know, this Joe Biden.
Let me tell you what is in the bill. It provides 53 death penalty offenses. Weak as can be, you know? We do everything but hang people for jaywalking in this bill.
Got to keep those prisons filled, huh, Joe? Joe Biden would rather society hand out prison sentences than health care. So why is the DNC going against what Democratic voters want and opposing legalization? When did the DNC become the party of the town fathers from Footloose? Is there going to be a plank in the party platform about the dangers of dancing and necking? Biden might not actually object to that last one. Creepy. This vote is a gigantic middle finger to black and brown people and to young people who should be the future of whatever political party wants to survive. This is the establishment wing of the Democratic Party telling you to get your minds right and lower your expectations.
And so the younger generation now tells me how tough things are. Give me a break. No. I have no empathy for it. Give me a break.
You know marijuana is legal in 11 states and the District of Columbia? If we make it mandatory for Congress, we might actually end the wars that way. Legalization will be on the ballot this November in 8 states, including Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Mississippi. Yeah, that's right, Mississippi. The state that only got around to abolishing slavery in 2013. That state is more progressive than Joe Biden on pot legalization. Hey, did you know more than 85% of Democrats support Medicare for all? Did you know the DNC panel rejected it by a vote of 125 to 36? Sarah Palin said Democrats want death panels. We all thought she was crazy. And here they are proving her right. What else? Well, how about the Green New Deal? Not mentioned in the party platform, despite its support from 86% of the Democrats. Nancy Pelosi called it the Green Dream, then told everybody to green dream on. The DNC could not be more explicit in telling the average working Americans to go fuck themselves. The only way they'd be more explicit is if they replaced the party's symbol of a donkey with a giant dildo. Which, as I think about it, a battery-controlled plastic fake dick is the perfect symbol for the Democratic Party. We don't have two parties in this country. We have one party with two faces. Just because one of the faces is bloated and has a hideous spray tan, that doesn't mean the other face, with its big grin and sniffing your hair, has anything different in store for you. It's almost like the party that calls itself the Democratic Party doesn't really believe in democracy. Isn't that ironic? If there was such a thing as truth in advertising, they'd be forced to change their name from the DNC to DNG, which stands for Do Not Give a Fuck About You. Hey, everybody, this is the part where I tell you where all our live shows are, but there aren't any. And then this is why I tell you to join our premium program and get extra content, but nobody's got a fucking job. So just enjoy the video.